Hey guys, welcome back to episode 33 of the Cloud9 Kia Forecast. I'm Medios, and today we are rejoined once again by I Will Dominate. Thanks for coming on. Before we get into it though, don't forget to subscribe for more C9 Kia content, and subtitles are available down below. So how's it going, Dom?
Going good. I'm here in Korea watching the Worlds matches. Today, when we're recording, we're about to see like all the qualifiers. We'll have quarterfinals coming up soon. So yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, you're in Korea. That's kind of wild. What's the Korea trip all about? You just doing it for like better time zone for Worlds, or something else going on?
Yeah, just better time zone for Worlds. I'm also, I guess I can leak this now. I mean, it's in like a week, but I'm going to World Finals, so I'll be doing that. And yeah, I just wanted to be in Korea because time zones are so much better. The World's games, they change times. Like sometimes they're at 2 p.m., which would be midnight for me back home. Sometimes they're at 3 a.m. And like doing 8 best of ones starting at 3 a.m. It's tough. Like, I don't know. It's just, it's too much.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and Sneaky been on that complete degen schedule for it because I'm still in California. So yeah, they're starting like 10 p.m. or 1 a.m. and going most of the night. So It's been a lot of fun watching though. First topic we have is the World's Anthem, because it kind of got some mixed reviews this time around, and I think they normally do to some extent. But what do you think about it?
I actually have not watched the sacrifice or whatever it's called yet. I have not seen the World's Anthem. I don't know.
Like,
I'm somebody
have
that
you
like.
heard it?
No, I haven't heard it. I haven't seen the
Oh, you
video.
haven't heard it at all?
Yeah, I haven't heard it at all. Yeah.
I guess you
I'm
probably
not
don't
prepared.
have much of an opinion on it then.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not a World's Anthem
it-
guy generally. Like when people are like, "Oh man, the song is like top 10," like I don't know, like the epic anthems, they've just never been like, I don't know. It's like it just doesn't hit for me. So I normally don't watch it or do reactions to it because I feel like it's just gonna like ruin other people's hype for it. Like watching me react, I'm just like sitting there because I did one for like Heavy as the Crown. I'm just like sitting there. I'm like, oh, T1's in this quite a bit. All right, and that's it. And that's like the entire reaction. So it wasn't like I don't think it's banger content or anything.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. I liked it personally. I feel like more people I talked to didn't like it because, like you were saying, I feel like Worlds has this kind of expectation for what the songs are going to be like. I think Heavy as the Crown was like kind of that. You know, people want like an epic, like Legends Never Die. I'm not a music guy, but I think there's like some kind of like common themes in those songs. But Sacrifice is more like melodic, like orchestral. So it wasn't quite as hype as some people might have wanted, but I thought it was cool. I kind of like it when you change it up every once in a while. I like Star Walking. I don't think everyone has to sound the same.
Even though I didn't see the video, I followed the drama about it, where it's like Whippo was removed and he was the person that was chose to like represent an A, and I heard like people were kind of like upset that there wasn't going to be any like representation for North American players. Like they didn't choose because pretty much what I got from the comments was the music video incorporated like former players as well. Like I saw screenshots of like Perks like being in it, and people that weren't actively competing at this Worlds, so like historic NA players. So people thought that it should have been like maybe somebody like Doublelift, who was like one of the historic like North American players, or like just have somebody who's North American actually representing North America, as opposed to Whippo, which obviously got cut for like the comments that he made on stream. So I thought that was like interesting that they chose to go with Whippo, because like even when I see Whippo nowadays, I still see him as European. Like I guess he's been here for half his career now. He still feels like a EU import more than like a NA player. Whereas like some of the players like that were European, like for example Bjergsen, felt like an NA player at a point because he just played so long here. So it's like I think that was an interesting choice by them to incorporate Whippo as like the face of North America in a way.
Yeah, and I mean the timing definitely sucked. Like I don't think they wanted to have to cut him, but he's just saying some crazy shit, so they had to.
He shouldn't have talked about KBBQ. That was the start of the downfall. Like.
Yeah. I mean,
he flamed C9, and this is what happened.
Classic. Yeah, dominoes. It's funny. They're actually. I saw someone was like, oh, there actually is NA representation, and there's like one scene that they paused on, and you can see like a small constellation of a player with an energy jersey from like the 2023 energy run.
Ah,
So yeah, there's a little bit, but probably not as much as we would like.
it's actually not an NA player. It's
But
like Ignar or something. Like,
yeah, that'd be crazy. Yeah, but anyway, that was cool Anthem. And the next thing we're going to talk about is once again, we mentioned it in the episode with Blabber, but there are emotes for each team out for Worlds right now, and I highly recommend people go out and check them out. Cloud9's got one. We got the BMO 7 emote, so it's like BMO doing a little salute, and it's super sick. Also, if you get it, a portion of the sales will go toward the teams, and so like every team kind of got to make an emote, and it's just a good way to support like esports as a whole, support your favorite teams, and yeah, check out the C9 one. We have a list of the most used emotes so far. Did you see that one, Dom?
yeah, I did.
What do you think? Which ones do you like?
Who was it that had the like McDonald's emote? Was it G2 or Fnatic? There was one that like had where it was like flipping a burger or something. It looked exactly like McDonald's, and I thought that one was gonna sell. Like I thought that was gonna be the number one, but yeah, I mean KC losers queue. I mean, I guess that was really popular because it's pretty much I think behind the is that Jinx is like the match history of K Corp.
Yeah, it's the red carpet, dude. That
Yeah,
one's
that was their
good.
back,
When
that
I
was their
first
series
saw it,
against Fnatic. I'm pretty sure that they have right there. You know,
yeah, it's so usable. Like I feel like that's the thing with these emotes. That's like what people like about them is when there's a really like obvious time to use it in game. And
Mhm.
this one, like, that's so applicable. Like, if your team's terrible, you spam it. Like, you can use it to taunt them. Like, if they're just losing everywhere, that is a good one. And
Yeah.
then there's a lot of other good ones too, like the Pengu with the faker silence. There's a lot of cool ones.
Yep.
But definitely go check out the BMO 7 one. We got to get that one up on the top 10 for all the C9 fans. And yeah, I guess we'll move on to the Swiss stage then, because that's what's been going on. A lot of games been played so far. They're doing it was best of ones at first, and then for all the promotion or elimination matches, they switched over to best of threes. And so, Dom, what are things that have stuck out the most to you so far on this Swiss stage?
Um, the thing that has stuck out the most has probably been like how bad BLG has been. Because I mean, coming in, they should have been. I mean, they were the best Chinese team. Like pretty much top esports and BLG were a level up on AL. It didn't feel like AL could really compete with them. Like AL lost to Weibo domestically, and then seeing BLG in top esports, they're so clearly like insanely pressured by the circumstance of Worlds being in China and like all the implications of this Worlds for the LPL. People are talking about if LPL doesn't win this Worlds, there's going to be way less funding. A lot of fans are going to tune out. There's also like this free agency thing that's being discussed. Like there's a free agency thing that was leaked where there'll be like essentially bid wars for players. Like players are going to be like auctioned off essentially, and whoever the highest bidder
Really?
is going to like take players. I'm not sure about the specifics of that, but there's a lot of implications for it. And it looks like AL is the only team that's playing like themselves. Like I don't think that AL is playing on some ungodly level, but at least they look the same as they normally look. But BLG is unrecognizable. Like the whole problems with BLG that they had for pretty much the entire year, and what everyone memed is like BLG stood for bad late game. Like they were really good early game, and then as soon as the game got to mid or late game, they would throw insurmountable leads. Like they would throw 10k 12k gold leads and just lose games where it's like, wow, they just can't close the game to save their lives. But their early games were always solid. Like even if you remember during MSI, their early games were still good. Like they were able to get leads against T1. They had good level 1 plans. But they just weren't able to actually progress the game. Like T1 would be able to scale. They played this one game, I think it was game 2 of BLG versus T1 when they played at MSI. Like they had a 5k lead. They're playing Annie versus Victor, and Faker just farmed like side lane. And at some point, he just had a 2-level lead, and T1 just fought a team fight and won because BLG like lacked this ability to really like put their foot on the opponent's neck and progress the game fast in the mid game. But their early game was always good, right? And now you watch them play early game, and it's like you see some disgusting things. Like this dive, literally the LOL esports account just was like. What is this? Like versus VKS, there's
the Trundle Kaisa?
Yeah, the Trundle Kaisa dive. Like that's just insane to me.
That was seriously shocking because usually when I watch pro games, one thing that I really like doing is even if a play doesn't work out, you
Like, what's the
kind of try to
intention?
see like, yeah, it's like, what were they trying to
Yeah,
do and why did it or did it not work out, right? It's like, what
yeah.
things did they maybe not account for? But this one, dude, like, I don't know what the hell that was.
I
There was
mean,
no world where that ever works. It was
yeah,
like you're trying to dive in Ambessa with Trundle Kaisa, who like they don't have any hard CC. Ambessa had flash and every single spell available,
and biscuit
and they just
and a pot.
yeah, Biscuit and Pot. It's like, dude, what did you think was going to happen? Like, there was literally no world where this could have done anything unless Ambessa just like genuinely AFK'd. And
Yeah,
even if he did AFK, like it would, I don't even know if it would have been a clean dive.
it's like a one for
So
one
like,
if he's AFK. I think. Like,
yeah, dude, it was so
I mean,
crazy though.
they
'Cause,
played it.
like,
They played it as
number
well
one team.
as humanly possible too. Like they hit Kaisa W somehow. I don't know how Kaisa hits W like on this Ambessa. Ambessa didn't flash or anything, and they still just give over 2 kills. So these are things where, like, if they do that versus a decent team, the game is over right there. They're lucky they're playing against like VKS, right? But if they do that against one of the LCK teams, like, okay, go game 2. Like we'll just go game 2. This game is over. Then Best is going to carry the entire game. And you could tell that Ball is like a newer player to international stage, and he's playing versus Bin. So when he had like a 1 level lead and like a 600 gold lead, I'm like, you got to start pressuring Bin. But he just kind of like let Bin chill and get to Triforce, and they didn't really get a massive advantage, or they weren't able to use the massive advantage they had. But they're completely unrecognizable. Top Esports also is just doing the Top Esports thing. The Top Esports thing was predictable, though. Like, everyone who watches Top Esports knew that they were going to go international and be disgusting. Like, everyone knew this was coming that watches LPL. But BLG, I mean, during MSI, they were not that good. Like, they were a worse team than AL. I think they placed where they should have placed. They should have been the 4th best team. So even though they didn't look great, it was expected based off their form coming into the tournament. But here, they actually changed their form. They got much better in mid to late game. Their early game was always good, and now internationally, they're just looking terrible. Like, they're playing so bad. I mean, just the way that they play, they make mistakes at every phase of the game. Everything looks super nervous. Everything looks super tense. It just looks really stiff when you're watching them play. And yeah, it's just sad because I feel like they're a team that should be competing. It should be like BLG and AL and Top Esports, ideally versus like Hanwha Life, Genji, and T1. Like, those should be all the big teams, but really big underperformances from BLG. So it's super hard for me to watch because it's like you're not even watching the same team. I mean, everyone's seen this in sports. When a team is like that mental boomed, they're unrecognizable. You're not watching the same team anymore. You're just hoping that they can feel some type of confidence again so that they start playing like themselves. You get to see the actual stylistic matchup that would be interesting, right? Like, good BLG would be interesting versus good Genji. It's like, okay, Genji was pretty inactive early game. Canyon was pretty like weak in terms of getting stuff done. He's kind of just farming. And then Genji plays the map super well. They're really good around objectives. Like, that looks like it would win, but who knows? Maybe BLG would get so far ahead in the early game that Genji would lose in a similar way that they lost to KT. Like, maybe that's a possibility. But yeah, we just don't get that. Like, we're gonna get BLG just losing at all phases of the game. And it's pretty much the same thing for Top Esports. Like, when Top Esports played Genji, their early game just looks really stiff. Like, when I was watching this Azir Yone lane phase, like level 5, the Azir is pushing Yone under turret. This Yone is 200 HP. I felt like this Pantheon could just run at him. Like, the Pantheon could just run at him. He's like hold queuing over the wall. It's like, bro, just flash WQ. Like, this was crazy, no?
Play. I hated that play so much where Pantheon tried that Q because, dude, that made no sense. Like, first of all, even if you hit that empowered Q, that would not have killed.
Yeah, it would not kill.
Second of all, Azir's about to crash the wave. You wait to and I don't think they knew he was there, right? They might have had like some idea he was around there, but I don't think they knew he was literally.
He was on a pink ward, right? So
yeah, and he could have just flashed W, and then like even if Yone flashed it, right? It's like you'd still probably kill him afterwards. Like, you buff with the empowered auto, you can Q him, but yeah, somehow that play ends up with like Azir dying was super crazy.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
let me ask you, why do you think the LPL is struggling so hard? Do you think it's literally just the nerves, like playing on the world stage in China because there's so much pressure, or what do you think it is? Because
I think it's that, and then also like
wild.
I think, I mean, the fans just hate these teams. Like, the fans hate BLG and Top Esports. Like, there's all these dramas with like BLG, like, for example, those Bin's cockiness. There was like drama with Knight. There's like allegations that people took as like they believe that, like, people believe them to be true, so they're like they hate him for that. Elk made like comments on stream that people don't like, so like people are rooting for BLG to fail because they're just like a disgrace to China in people's minds. And then top esports, people are just mad at them for the consistent performances internationally, right? Like they consider things like first stand a complete embarrassment. Um, so yeah, I mean, I think the teams are just hated, and it's like you're at home, but it's not like you have a home crowd buff. It's like everyone's just there waiting for you to fail, and then as soon as like you play the games, you go on Hoopu, which is like their Reddit, and everyone is getting completely shit on. Like,
Dude, some of those comments are so funny.
yeah,
There's the
yeah,
one that was like, someone got like a 2.1 rating, and the comment was like, "Yeah, he was worse than Ricky. Who's Ricky? My dog." It's just like they're always so funny. Like they're really creative stuff.
yeah.
So yeah, that's been
After
good.
first stand, so the lowest you can rate somebody on Hoopu is 2, right? Like that's the lowest rating you can possibly get. Um, and after first stand, Top Esports came back domestically to LPL, and they were just like, I mean, they were the best team in winter. They won winter, and then they were just shitting on everyone in spring. Like they opened the first round raw. I think they were like 12-1 in best of 3, something ridiculous. They're just winning every single game. At every single game, they are smashing their opponents, and they're getting 2.0 ratings. They're getting the lowest ratings possible versus players that are just like getting completely just rolled the entire game. The other team's getting like 5, 6s, like whatever, and they're smashing them, and they're getting 2.0 ratings for their performances because the fans are so mad at them. So I just think that like the fans just hate these
Wow,
teams.
dude, that's who do they like then? Is there a crowd favorite LPL team, or they just hate everyone?
IG,
IG, okay,
yeah, they're the most
yeah,
popular
dude,
team because like the Shy is, the Shy rookie, like these are like historic players. So yeah,
yeah, yeah. I mean, the Shy's performance was awesome. Like top Varus, like Rek'Sai
yeah.
flash eating to
No,
throw the game. Like that was
he
that
made
was great.
sure that like that's the thing about the Shy is he makes sure that it revolves around him. Like he's somebody who doesn't want to go out silently, and he doesn't want to win silently either. It's like I'm either gonna carry this game and look like a beast, or I'll make sure we lose the game. That's the Shy mentality.
Yeah, I'm sad we didn't get to see him play more because that would have been a lot of fun. So yeah, I mean the LPL definitely haven't been doing well. Just last night we lost 2 of our American representatives. 100 Thieves lost to T1, and VKS went home. What do you think about the 100 Thieves? Because they had like probably the worst draw possible or close to it, right? It was like an LCK or LPL team every single time, and they did beat BLG, including Doka getting a solo kill on Bin where Rek'Sai took like 4 consecutive turret shots.
Yep.
But solo kill is a solo kill. So what do you think about 100 Thieves and how they looked?
I like watching 100 Thieves play. I mean, 100 Thieves is a real team. Like they play the game. They will capitalize on mistakes, and they call you out in game when you make mistakes where you're somewhere where you shouldn't, and you're like flexing like you're strong, but you don't actually have the ability to fight. They're very good at finding these angles and committing. So I liked watching 100 Thieves play. Like I actually feel like they played the best they could. They should just lose to all these teams. They should have lost to every team they played. They played against only top LPL and LCK teams, so it should be impossible. But I thought that they played in a way that was respectable. Like people understand why this team was good. And I would have liked to see them play versus a team like MKOI. Like I think that when I watch these teams, like I really believe that 100 Thieves, I mean, even like G2 and FlyQuest, like G2 and FlyQuest versus 100 Thieves, I think that in a best of 3, like 100 Thieves could win. Like people forget how the 100 Thieves FlyQuest series went when they played each other, but it was like very close to 100 Thieves being up 2-0 in that series. Like it started 1-1, but game 1, 100 Thieves was up like 5k gold and through. So I think 100 Thieves is a legit team. I've been saying it. I like the team. It's just too hard, like you're playing against T1, Hanwha Life, back to back, top esports, BLG. Like I don't know, it's too difficult.
Yeah,
Also,
I mean,
top esports and BLG when they played them, that was when they were like less mental boom than they are now. Like top esports on day 2, it's like okay, they won game, they're fine. Like they started 1-0, they're playing against 100 Thieves. Now 100 Thieves versus top esports, I could see being a little bit closer. Like I could see top esports, having a disgusting series against them. So it was kind of unlucky about the timing as well.
oh yeah, definitely. And dude, I think the sad part for me is that because this was like such a last dance for 100 Thieves, they were super public about this. We're not doing it again next year. They're not even going to be able to like take this experience and build on it, right? Because I mean, hopefully the players find some way to play again together. But we don't know. We don't know if they're going to be able to find teams or if they're going to keep playing or whatnot. I mean, River's going to his military service, so it would be cool if these teams who've like showed really good performances against the top teams in the world were able to like build on that and and bring that experience back to NA and like share with everyone and elevate the region. But seems like that might not be happening. So definitely a shame. Um, I guess we can kind of move on to the knockouts, or at least as we're filming this, this is right before the 2-2 teams play for the end of the Swiss stage. And so we've got 6 teams competing for 3 slots. And who you got winning? The matchups are CFO versus FlyQuest, BLG versus Top, and then MKOI versus T1. And these are all must wins. Like it's, if you win, you advance. You lose, you are out.
I mean,
it
it's
seems
hard.
like
It's hard to
Fly
say.
got a pretty decent draw.
Yeah, I think Fly got such an easy draw. I mean, I thought, I don't know how you felt, but I thought Fly played one of their worst series they played all year against G2. Like, considering how they executed their leads, that's the thing about FlyQuest is that normally when they get leads, they just never make stupid mistakes like this. Like, they're very consistent with their leads, but they're a little bit slow at obtaining their leads when they play against top Asian teams and they don't have leads, they can just collapse. But, I mean, we even saw... yeah, go ahead.
I was so mad about the Soraka pick in game 2. I thought that made absolutely no sense. And sometimes I wish I could, like, the stat probably exists somewhere, but how often, like, really weird oddball off meta picks actually work? Because a lot of times when I see something like that, more often than not, I feel like it just fails miserably. Because, like, I don't know, man. You have, like, that was game 2 where they had Rumble, Xin Zhao, I forget what their mid laner was, but basically like they didn't have that much CC.
They had Annie, so that's like the problem. Is like I feel like if you wanted to go Soraka, you want to go to Enchanter like this, you need some type of mid lane champion with consistent damage. Like when you're playing Annie, Rumble, Xin, you're trying to just like one shot the enemy team. So I feel like if they wanted to go a more scaling mid laner and then they had a Soraka, I could see it. But Annie is not benefiting from Soraka at all. So I really didn't like the Soraka pick with Annie. Like I think Soraka is good into the champions on the enemy team and it's good with Xin Zhao, but it's not good with Annie and it's not really great with Rumble. So I just felt like it was just out of place with what was drafted in the solo lanes.
I mean, I don't know about Soraka as a champ though, because from the top teams, like the top regions in all of 2025, she was not picked a single time. Mm-hmm. And even when you saw her in game, it was like there's always like the theoretical, like what can this champion do in a perfect situation? Yeah. And I thought it was really weird that like none of the analysts or anything I heard talking about the pick is just being a troll pick. Because like, I mean, I play the game, right? When I see Soraka, there are times where she's overtuned, but I think generally more often than not, she's not overtuned. And just the way she, like what she contributes to a team is just not a lot, man. Since like I don't know the last time I actually saw a Soraka look decent outside of like, you know, Adrian in like the P1 days or something like that.
I feel like Soraka there's like a very specific time to pick it, in my opinion, which is like when teams try to blind disengage champions and they don't have like the ability to kill you ever, and you can just like slowly just, you know, chip them down with like some type of long range AD carrier or a mid laner that's able to like just use spells over and over again. So like for example, what I'm thinking about is like when teams blind Braum without like a Lucian, for example, and they can't actually force you and champion's just kind of like dead in lane. It's like, yeah, I mean, if you troll, then you'll fucking die. Like level 1, if you troll, you'll die. Like if you get hit by a Braum Q, you'll die. But generally you should be able to like stylistically play out these games. If you're playing versus like a Renata that's blinded, I feel like that's when you could go with Soraka. I think in theory it can work there in terms of like the lane. I feel like the way they have to fight is it's so hard to kill anyone with their team comp. Like you have Annie and Xin go in, and then it's like no one dies on the enemy team, and then Soraka's healing you, but then no one's outputting damage, so it doesn't even matter that Soraka's healing you. So I just didn't like it in the context of like what the other champions were. Like I think I'm fine with Soraka. Like I think Soraka's an interesting champion. Like I've thought about spots for it. Throughout the year, and I mean, I guess we'd say this now, like we even scrimmed with Soraka like before during last year, you know, with C9, not often, but it was like, you know, you play 5-game Fearless enough times, there's going to be a Soraka spot, and like people would pull it out in a 5-game Fearless, and it would look good when people didn't know what to pick, and they're like, oh, what's the best support up? It's just Renata, I guess, and they just like slam it. I mean, there's angles for it to be played, and I think most teams were playing it. Just there, I just didn't understand it. Like there, it just didn't make sense. Like, you don't want Annie Soraka. You want like Victor Soraka. You want if you somehow get into a game where Azir is up in like game 5 fearless and the enemy team doesn't have good engage, I can see like Azir Soraka working, or any of these champions like Hwei Soraka could work in a certain game. I just think that it was super weird here to pick it when your top side wants to fight. I feel like the top side is just a bloodbath, right? It's Rumble, Xin, Annie. So drop an engage support,
Yeah.
and just play.
Yeah, I mean that's totally how I feel. I mean, I think even if there's a spot where you can like it might theoretically look good, I have a really hard time believing it's ever the best pick. So yeah, that one did not feel very good for me to watch, because I feel like if they just had like a real support, that game totally could have been winnable. And then they ended up losing the next game afterwards too. So
that one was worse to me.
It was
because
yeah, I mean, it was tough.
No one wants to play Jax there. You never want to play Jax into Renekton when your jungler is weaker. Like, that is like almost a hard rule that people have around the world. Like, if you have a weak jungler and your top laner is losing, it's so easy for them to just never be relevant in the game, which we saw the path. Like, they were on the path to have that happen in the game. As soon as they get that first kill at like level 5, it was Renekton was level 6, Sejuani was level 5. As soon as they get that first kill on Jax and Renekton gets like a plate, a kill, proxies a wave, Jax goes down 2 waves, it's so over. It's like Jax Mundo is never killing this Renekton unless the Renekton like tries to proxy, he wastes his E's and then just gives over a free kill and then gives 2 turrets top because he gets canceled on his recall multiple times on mid. These are not like, I never see Bwipo throw his 2k gold lead on Renekton. Like, that never happens with FlyQuest. So that's what was so shocking to me. And I think Inspired kind of alluded to it in his interview. He's like, honestly, I thought Quad was playing pretty well into caps, and I thought Busio made some good plays. It's like, so why'd you lose? He's like, but I'm pissed off that we lost. It's like, okay, well, probably weren't too happy with your Renekton that you played for and not running the entire game.
I kind of felt bad for Inspired there, especially because you could tell Dracos was like trying to probe him to say stuff that like he wouldn't want to say. Like, he's like, man, you look really pissed.
No, it's stuff that he wants to say. Like, it's stuff that he wants to say.
Yeah, but it's like he knows he shouldn't say it, right? It's like,
yeah,
he's trying to like bait him into like being toxic, basically.
Yeah.
So like, I felt a little bad for Inspired, but I think he handled it about as, maybe not perfectly, but pretty well. Yeah, but I don't know. That was a really sad one to lose. But anyway, we have another chance. We've got Fly versus CFO, which is one of the better draws. And I didn't realize this. Let me see if it's still true, but like, I think CFO had been like, all of their wins were on Sion, which we didn't really talk about too much this tournament, but like Sion has literally just been winning every game, like almost, right? Like Genji beat Sion and like, a couple times here and there, but for the most part, Sion's just been winning. I think it is still the case that all of CFO's wins with either top laner have been with Sion. So it definitely feels like, and this is kind of what we saw in MSI, where CFO's top lane, regardless of who they're playing, is kind of like a liability for them. I think Sion's just like so broken and so hard to punish that we didn't see it initially, but I don't know. What do you think about them as a team? Do you think they can beat Fly, or do you think should be Fly favored?
I think it is CFO favored, but not by as much as I think the community thinks it is. I mean, there's a lot of wins that get you a lot of points within the community, and it's like you beat T1 in a best of 1. Damn, you're so good. But like, if you think about what happened this game, the Draven solo killed Rek'Sai and just goes bot lane where he's supposed to be playing into like a Caitlyn lane. It should be hard for him. He just arrives bot lane at 4 minutes with like a BF sword. It's like, well, now we're laning, and if you make one mistake, you're just dead. So to me, it was a perfect storm. They also had the Scion. They had a really good like lane swap idea. I think that the problem with CFO is that they have been really inconsistent around objectives. I mean, I wouldn't even say inconsistent. They've been consistently bad around objectives. Even in games they've won, they've had really, really bad issues around objectives and almost thrown games. Like the game 1 versus AL, they almost threw that game. There was the Otacon that they ended up actually throwing versus AL later on in the series. They've had really bad Baron starts where they just die. Like, just generally around objectives, they make mistakes, and Fly is good at punishing teams that make mistakes around objectives. So I think that stylistically, it should be a fine matchup for FlyQuest. Like, FlyQuest is generally good at playing against teams that are aggressive, but not super disciplined and don't have good like lane assignments. But if they play like they did against G2, like they'll just lose. But
Yep.
yeah, I think that in general, Fly is smart about understanding when a team is like pressured or like when they're making a mistake or when they're actively making a mistake and how to like bait them in to make the mistake even bigger. You know, like they're very normally when a team starts a Baron, that's bad. You see teams be like, they're inting and they just like go for it, you know. But Fly is like the team that will like be like, oh, let them keep on hitting it. Let's get it down to 4K, and then they'll snap on 4K, and then everyone will die. You know, like they're very good at maximizing your mistake because they're also really smart about understanding tempo and like, okay, well now they made this mistake, even if they back off, like how they can gain control, what can be done to get as much possible from that small decision that's like an inaccuracy. So I think that Fly, if this was going into the tournament, I would think that Fly would beat a team like CFO. But I also thought they would beat a team like G2. Like coming into the tournament, my analysis was that G2 and CFO have a higher chance of beating a top Asian team than FlyQuest does, but FlyQuest will beat CFO and G2 in best of fives. That's pretty much what I thought would end up happening. And yeah, I mean the series went similarly between Fly and G2 is like what I thought it would go. It's just that I thought Fly would win those games. It's like, okay, with these leads, they're just gonna choke you out. So that's why I'm a little bit unsure of FlyQuest now. Is like if they do get leads against CFO, are they going to be able to close?
Yep. Yep. I mean, hopefully FlyQuest gets through. It's always a little sad when we don't have an NA team to root for, especially if Europe gets farther than NA. That's just the dark times, man.
Yeah.
Not like we don't want that. And then I guess real quick before we jump into knockouts, just BLG who you got?
So BLG would just beat Top Esports in 2 best of fives, right? Like that's how they got here, and they looked like the better team. So I'm assuming that when BLG is playing a team that they know inside and out, in the same, like they're playing in the same location, like they beat this team right here, like 3 weeks ago. You know, like it wasn't that long ago. They were just beating this team right here. So I feel like BLG just should win. They really just should win because like there's no like extra pressure, I would think, playing against Top Esports, but they have been looking worse than Top. So yeah, I think it's a bad look for LPL if Top Esports ends up winning. Like then it's just like, wow, so your best team collapsed. So now we're hoping that AL gets it together, but AL is by far the most flawed of the top 3 of LPL. And even though they got out 3-0 and they beat Gen G and Hodl Life, I think it's going to be hard for them in a best of 5. Like when you go deep with these types of teams, it's tough.
Yep.
Like Gen G, T1, these types of teams, game 4. Well, it's a little bit different for T1. I should say Gen G and Hodl Life. Gen G, Hodl Life, when you go game 4, game 5, it's very difficult to draft against these teams because you're limited strategically. But BLG was a team that actually was very good when it came to game 4s, game 5s, because they have so many different comps that they really like to play. Like they almost want Trundle and like the tank, like Trundle to be out so they can play things like Sejuani Akali or Sejuani Yone, like these types of comps. They really liked playing Caitlyn Elise, which becomes really OP once a lot of the more stable AD carries are out. After Corki and these types of champs are out, then you can just drop this and completely run over the bot lane. But BLG just hasn't been looking like that. So who knows? I mean, they did. I think they did go 2-1 down to Top Esports in their best of 5. So I could definitely see them losing.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that would be a little concerning for LPL. And then our last one we got is MKOI T1, which I feel like the vast majority of the world is gonna be rooting for T1 and expecting T1 to win. I don't know. They're just such a different team when like their world's life is on the line. Even against 100 Thieves, it felt like 100 Thieves was going to win game 1, and then Faker just made that like absolutely ridiculous Talia play where he got like a WE into his own Zonias, like perfectly timing it on Silas coming out of Zonias and like hitting 3 people. Like T1's just diff when they are backed up against the wall. So
yeah,
probably expecting T1 to get through. But what are you thinking for pick'ems for the knockout stage? Who's your top 5 for the knockouts?
Top 5. I mean, it's hard to say because you don't know matchups. Because we could get real. Like this is the thing about Worlds. Is like we could be in hell tomorrow. We could wake up tomorrow, look at the matchups, and it could be, oh, KT's playing against T1. We have AL playing against BLG round 1. Gen G is playing against Hanwha Life, and G2 is playing CFO. Like that could literally just be the matchups, and we could just be completely doomed. So it's really just dependent on the draw. That's the thing about Worlds is I feel like the draw matters more than the actual games being played. Like the level of your team, it's like, okay, I'm hyped for the draw every day. And it's like, pretty much the way I explain it is if somebody's never gambled before, watching the draw is like what gambling is. If every time there was a bad draw, you had to pay somebody for it. Like that's pretty much what it's like. So, yeah, I don't know, man. Like I see these draws and it's like 100 Thieves looked good, but if you don't draw MKOI and you draw T1, GG. So I think it's going to be heavily draw dependent. I assume that like the teams that I think are the best right now are AL plus the 3 top Korean teams, Genji, Hanwha Life, T1. And then I think KT, I mean, KT did beat Top Esports. I feel like in inform, Top Esports or BLG should be better than that KT team, but it might just be the 4 Korean teams in AL.
Yeah, hard to disagree with that. I don't think it's such a hot take to say, LCK is the strongest. KT's been weird for me.
I don't actually believe in them.
Don't. Me neither, right? It's like when you watch their games, even games they're winning, they're almost always hard losing early game, and then somehow they bring it back. And even if like you look at their total record for this season, they had like a 40% win rate getting to Worlds, which is super crazy. I think I don't know, they just randomly caught Genji on their worst day ever to qualify, and it does seem like they've been struggling pretty hard, even in games they win. And so like, obviously credit for winning. But when it gets down to best of fives and you start getting up against like the very best teams, I think you kind of have to be a bit more consistent, and like losing every early game is, I don't know. Like I think that doesn't work against good teams. Like you don't just come back randomly. They have seemed to have like pretty good objective fights. Like something about the way Korean teams play around objectives is just so different. Like I feel like their view on how to team fight is so different from what we're used to. And I always wish that I could hear the comms in them, especially like Genji, right? Like, because we watched who was their last match? Genji versus
they played T1 and then they played against Top Esports.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Genji against Top Esports was like they rolled Top Esports like really one-sidedly. Like they gave Sion and they beat it. And just the way that they team fight is so insane. Like they just, I don't know. They just like engage and disengage so cohesively. It doesn't feel like anyone's like.
They call it ping pong. Apparently, that's like how they like describe it. Because I was talking to the Korean co-streamers when I was at MSI. They kept on calling it ping pong. It's like one guy goes in, then he goes out, then the other guy goes in, then he goes out, and it's like they're really good at balancing like the dance of like, okay, like I used my spells, now I like exit, I wait for my spells, you go in, you use your spells, like you know, and you can see this a lot like on mid lane versus Top Esports. They're very good about like understanding. It's like, okay, I went in, got this guy's like flash or got this guy's movement ability, and now it's like your turn to instantly go in and abuse that, and then other people will follow up like later. So I think that's like pretty interesting by Genji. I mean, honestly, the Genji game, like the fact that they made it out of this early game, I think their draft was so bad in game 1. I think their draft is so unplayable. Like, how could you pick Lucian Braum into Nico Corki? Like, how could that be possible? Like, how could you give them Nico on 5? And it's just because it's Hong, and Hong doesn't even know what items build into Proto Belt. So imagine how bad his Nico is. Like, if he doesn't even know the items that build into the item that he's trying to buy, like, this guy is not practiced on the champion. So they end up winning. But it's like you get a scripted 20 CS deficit and a bot dive in this game, because you can't actually contest your bot side jungle because the enemy team is bot prio, plus they have a Xin Zhao, which is stronger than Vi. So like the Vi has to start bot and path top. But then if you path top, then your bot lane is just completely exposed. Nico and Corki can just push whenever into Lucian Braum, and then you can just dive them with the cannon trick that they did. And then the wave is pushing away.
Cannon dive is so dumb.
Yeah, it's so stupid. But then the wave is pushing away from you, and you're down 600 gold. And your jungler is pathing top, and the enemy jungler is pathing bot again. So like, I don't know how Genji can make it out of this early game. Well, I mean, I know how. Like Hong and Jackie Liv just tried to 2v2 them and they just died. And they gave back like the entirety of the lead right there. But that should be unplayable, I think, bot side. And it's so hard because you can't swap because you have Rek'Sai. Like if you try to swap and you have like Rek'Sai laning with a Braum, it's completely unplayable for the Rek'Sai. Lucian can't even abuse the Sai on top, so that wouldn't even work for them. So I actually think their draft is like super unplayable when it comes to like their bot lane matchup and their top lane champion they selected. But it just didn't matter. Like they're just too good. So yeah, this is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. I feel like to pretty much all ways of looking at it, Genji seemed like the tournament favorite to me. It seems like if I don't really bet, but if I was betting, I would for sure bet on Genji. But I don't know. I mean, the only thing working against them is just like the I don't know if it's nerves or the pressure or whatever, but somehow Genji has just not performed at Worlds, and then you have T1 who's the total opposite. It's like they just somehow win every single year while making themselves look like the underdogs. So
Mhm.
yeah, I mean we're gonna have to see.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that is probably going to do it for this episode of the Cloud9 Kia Forecast. Excited for the upcoming matches, and as a reminder to everyone to do your pick'ems. Thanks for joining again, Dom, and we'll see you guys next time.